everyone, it's Shel C from PaperOcotilloStudio. Today I'm sharing with you my November 2020 Pick a Stick Challenge art journal page. This is a mixed media art journal page that I made during the Art Joy of Sharing live stream on Thursday. That's another channel that Peg and I do together. We live stream every Thursday at 7:30 Pacific time, and that would be 10:30 Eastern time. So today I am going to go through the prompts, the first 6 prompts in order. You can interpret them any way you want. You can make it a crazy way or a normal way. That's how Pick a Stick works. Also, there's 2 colors I will be using, royal blue and white. Those are the prompts. And then there's a couple wild card prompts that you can replace the other prompts if you don't like them, if you get stuck. There's a couple extra there. It's a fun and easy thing to do, getting you through an art journal page with, a little bit of creativity on your part. So the first prompt was draw, and so I decided to draw. I was looking at the colors, and they reminded me of winter, a winter scene with snowy trees, but that's not where I'm at. It's not snowy here. It's a little bit colder than normal, but it's not snowy or anything. So I decided to make a winter scene what it looks like in the desert. So I'm drawing a prickly pear cactus. Here in the cooler temperatures, our prickly pears have a cactus fruit on them, and they're kind of a red color. And then the cactus is still green. It doesn't ever change. I guess it's an evergreen. It never really changes. We do have some different ones that are different colors, but they're all pretty much green, or there's a little bit of lavender one and maybe some reds. But I decided to draw my scene, and then I decided to collage. I love to collage. I love to take painting papers and stick them down. That makes me happy. And so I decided to do that. That's not one of the steps, but like I said, or maybe I didn't say, you can do something before, in between, after, in between each step, as long as you do the 6 steps in order. If you would like to play along with this challenge, you can come and join the Art Joy of Sharing art community on Facebook. There will be a link below the video that you can click on to ask to join. Just make sure that you answer the questions that come up when you are applying to join. If you don't answer the questions, we won't accept you. We use the questions as a way to keep people out, or well, not more like robots out that want to spam the channel and sell stuff. That's not what it's about. It's about sharing your art and enjoying each other and being supportive. So if that sounds fun to you, you should come and join our group. For this collage, I'm using just some scraps of different painting papers. Some of them might be gel print, some of them are stenciling, just whatever was on my desk. And I didn't even go outside the desk stash. This is just the stuff that's on the desk. And I'm adding some different layers of green onto the prickly pear. I'm using a Yoo-hoo glue stick to glue it down, since this is my journal. I'm not concerned with, if it peels up a little bit, I'll just glue it back down. It's not a big deal in my journal, although I don't really have a problem with anything coming up in my journal with this glue stick. I'm very happy with it. It's a Yoo-hoo glue stick from, actually I don't know who manufactures it, but it's the one that's blue when it goes on, and then it turns clear when it's dry. I also have like a little bit of a, well, what's that thing called? The type of tool where you spread paint out with, or you smooth things out. If you were doing printing or something, and I'm using that to smooth out my paper. Also, I have a baby wipe that I'm using to just kind of wipe off excess glue or whatever and kind of get everything smoothed down. And this works really well in the journal. This journal is a Diallusions dialogue journal. This is the one that has days of the week on it. And actually in the close-ups, you can see some of the days of the week still coming through. I don't care. This is an art journal. This is for practice and play. This is fun, and it's not about worrying about perfection, or I'm not going to sell this. I'm not going to display it on the wall. I'm just having fun with it. So I'm not concerned if everything doesn't get covered in the background. I think the dialogue journals are designed to do planning and things like that, but the paper is like a manila cardstock, like a tag, And so it's fun to work on. It takes a lot of abuse. It doesn't pill up or tear or anything when I get it a little bit wet. I'm using that scraper tool to kind of make sure that the collage is going into the crease and getting stuck down in the crease. And I'm just adding some fruit, and then that was all torn paper collage. I didn't cut anything with scissors. And then I'm going to contrast it by using some cut paper collage on my bird, which could also be called paper piecing. Sometimes people will say they love my paper piecing, and I guess that's what it is. I'm piecing together little pieces of painty papers to make my bird. This is a cactus wren, and it is a common bird that you see in my backyard. So they make a little kind of a trilling, chirping noise, and you can hear them. They have a lot of black and white spots on them, and maybe I didn't do quite as much as I could have on that. But of course, this is an hour and a half live stream show that I made this on, and so I can't be super fussy or take a lot of time doing all my little illustration stuff that could take hours because it needs to be done quickly. And that is really what's great about art journaling, is that you don't have to obsess over it. It's just daily practice if you do it daily. And if you don't do it daily, still, it's just practice on the times that you can do it. And it's perfect for that. Getting all your skills into practice and also having fun at the same time. Got to put a little pointy beak on here. Cactus wren has a very pointy beak, and it uses it to poke into the cactus and get bugs and things. So one of those very sharp pointy beaks is what they have. And long tail. This might have been a little bit too long. Maybe this tail was a little bit overdone, but they definitely have an interesting tail as well with different colors and layers. So I'm just almost done with my collage, and I'm going to move on to some more steps. So this is an in-between step. It wasn't required as one of the prompts, but it still is fun, and it's what I felt like doing today. So I've got enough collage on. I'm going to move on to the next thing, which the next step of the 6 was doodle. To me, doodle has a couple different meanings. One, it means a really sketchy, fast type of a drawing, right? A doodle is like, maybe you're doing it while you're not really thinking about it. Maybe you're on the phone waiting on something, and you are drawing little pictures or doodling or sketching really fast. The other thing that it means to me is like a Zentangle type of an idea, which I don't really do. I keep wanting to start, and I never really get to it. Gonna do it someday because I think it's cool. I just haven't managed to do it. So I'm using my white and my black Posca pens to do kind of a fast, sketchy detailing of my bird and my cactus. I'm adding some pointy spikes to my cactus and just kind of some outline, a little bit of outline, sketchy outline. I'm doing the same thing with the bird. I'm kind of doing a sketchy outline of his feet and around his body, making sure that his beak is super pointy, because point is actually one of the prompts, which I haven't got to yet. But I want to make sure there's pointy things on here. So then I move on to circular, which is the next prompt, and I draw a circle by just tracing around the tape that was on my table, and that is going to be a moon because this is going to be an evening scene. I got a new product. This is the King Art crayons, and I was sleepy, and I was looking at Instagram, and I saw them, and they were a really good price. I got the set of 48. You can find them. I'll put the link below on Amazon. I think it's $37 for 48. And what really attracted me was all the colors, 48 colors. And I didn't even begin to touch on all the colors today. They are a creamy product that you can blend with your fingers. You can also blend it with a water brush or a baby wipe, similar to Marabou art crayons. In fact, I think they look just like Marabou art crayons. It's the same type of an applicator or whatever that stores it. Also reminds me of Faber-Castell gelatos or the distress crayons from Ranger. They're smooth and creamy and easy to blend. So I colored up my moon with a few different colors, and now I'm doing the next step, which is remove. I used a stencil from Stencil Girl, and I went over the top of the stencil after I put it down with a baby wipe and removed some of the color. And then you get this like kind of tone on tone pattern, which is a fun thing to do with a water soluble product like this. I then have to use the colors royal blue, and white, which I haven't really tackled yet on my project. So I look through all the blues. There were several different tones of blue. I decided on this kind of a navy color. Blue would be the closest thing that I would think of to royal blue. I didn't have one named royal blue, but it's close enough, right? So I'm coloring my background and then around my focal image to make a shadow with this darkest color, the royal blue, and I'm blending it with a water brush. This is a type of brush that has a synthetic bristle brush to paint with, and then it's got water in the handle. So I can squeeze it and get a little bit of water out to blend this product, these King Art crayons. So I'm just going around and blending everything, and then I'm going to get some other colors and add them in, some other colors of blue to add in. I did notice, because I did try to do some more of that through the stencil removing in a bit here, and once this is activated with water like I did, it seems to be semi-permanent. Like it didn't really want to come off with the baby wipe through the stencil once I had activated it with water. I'm not going to say that it's permanent, but I think this is a very good compromise between a water soluble product and a permanent product that you can use with mixed media. Because in mixed media, what do? You layer stuff, you put stuff on top of some other things. I will be doing a swatch and comparison of this product with all the other bazillion crayons I have. I have all different types of crayons. I mean, why did I buy this, right? I didn't need another crayon. But I didn't have the Marabou crayons, and I thought these looked like the Marabou crayons, so I thought, yeah, I'm going to get them. And it was early in the morning. So see, I just tried to do that removing thing again, and it didn't work. Didn't come off. So then I decide I'll do a little bit more doodling with that stencil because the top of that stencil design reminds me of this plant that we have. It's a spiky plant. There's different ones. One of them is called the century plant, and supposedly it only blooms every 100 years and then it dies, which is kind of tragic. But it's like a spiky plant, and then it grows a stalk through the middle of it, and at the top of the stalk there's these white flowers, and this design on this stencil reminds me of that white flower. So I decided I would try to put a couple of that type of design in the background of my scene, because the stencil was laying on my desk. Really, that's the reason. So I decided to use a stencil to doodle by using my black Posca pen and going around. I'm still trying to do that removal technique, and it's just not working. And I don't want to wreck the paper. I don't want to overwork the paper. So I don't want to really push the issue. So I just decided to come back in with that lighter blue and fill in where I was messing around with it. So I've got a white crayon, the white crayon, and I go over the flowers to make them white, because remember we've got the royal blue and the white. And I end up adding some white paint as well, because I thought my white was underrepresented on my page. In contrast, Peg did a snowy page with a snowman and a lot of white and a little bit of blue. So I guess if you want to watch the live stream recorded at this point, you could go and watch it in Art Joy Sharing and see what Peg did, or maybe she has a speed video on her channel. I'm not sure. But hers is really cute. It's got this really cute snowman character on it, which I think snowmen are just one of my favorite holiday time images. So her page is super cute. So I added a little bit more of that dark crayon around the flowers to make them stand out a little bit. And then I'm still going on with this, trying to remove, and this stencil is obviously dirty because it brings in another color, which is fine with me. That stencil I think is supposed to be cracked glass or something like that, but to me it reminds me of those spiky plants, so I thought I would have some of it in the background. Because if you have the flowers, you probably should have the plants that they go to, right? Plus, I just thought it needed a little bit more. So I think this is the point where I decide I'm going to bring in some white paint and just really make sure that there's some white on there. The crayon itself was pretty translucent, and so it didn't really scream white, you know. So I decided to add a little bit of this this stencil that reminds me of the spiky plants in the background with the white. And I'm using a stencil brush that is designed to be a makeup brush, but I think works great as a stencil brush. I'll try to remember to put that in the box below. If I forget to put the links, because today's a busy day, you can go over to my just my straight Amazon store link, and I have a lot of these products that are just, you know, there waiting for you to click, and the link is below the video. But I'll try to do the specific products that I talked about as well. So I did a little bit of spattering to put some stars in the sky, and then the next prompt, prompt number, I don't even know, 5 or 6, is words. So I decided to use a stamp set that has little letters. And I was looking for a dark blue color to do it with, and then I decided to just go with black because I didn't think that any blue that I had in a permanent pad was going to be dark enough. If I had like a really dark navy blue, that would have been nice. But the black works too because there's the black sketchy outlines on things. So I stamp some words to satisfy that. I think it says peaceful winter night, I believe is what words I put on there with this archival ink and these little stamps. These are from Stampin' Up. They're discontinued, but you can probably find this set on eBay. I usually can find the discontinued stamps that I use on eBay, so I will look for that as well for you and put a link below if you're really interested in this stamp set from Stampin' Up. Long discontinued. It has the capital letters on the front and then the small letters on the sides. That's the way it was designed. You had to self-mount it, but it's deeply etched red rubber, very nice stamps. So, peaceful winter night. So I hope you've enjoyed this speed video of the Pick a Stick Challenge for November 2020. If you have, please remember to give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment or question below. Subscribe, turn on your notification bells. Share this on Pinterest if you think it's really cool, or on Facebook, or share a link with your friends if you want them to see it. And all those things really help my channel by helping other people find things that are on my channel that they might not find otherwise, because there's a lot of channels out there, right? So thank you for helping me out by doing those things. So for finishing, I just added some highlights to the letters. I did a little bit more of sketchy drawing, and anything else? I don't think so. Maybe a little bit more coloring. Oh yeah, I decided to add a little bit of green just in places to that white in the background. It made it look more dimensional with this kind of sagey green color crayon, which I just had a lot of fun playing with these crayons today and some collage. And it's very mixed media. So that's where I was going with it. There will be photos at the end, links below. Oh, yes, point. The last prompt was point. So I decided to say that I made a very pointed beak, and I also have these spikes on the cactus, which are pointy, and that satisfied, I felt, the final little prompt. So that's it for me. Thanks, guys. Bye bye.